The Skitarii on the tabletop are one of our most vital units. Unlike other armies where the battle line might feel like attacks or entirely excluded from the list, the Mechanicus cannot function to their full potential without the battle line. Literally. Skitarii enable a third of our rules on both Doctrinas, giving -1 to melee in Protector Doctrina, and the all-important -1 AP on any attack in the Conqueror Doctrina, provided you are within 6 inches of this unit. Not only that, but they empower various units in our roster. Before we go any further into that, however, let's break down the variants of the Skitarii and take in the good with the bad. Skitarii Rangers are the all-iconic and adorable little robo guys that are really the face of our army. Unfortunately, their output isn't as great as in the past. They excel at long-range shooting with some rather weaker weapons, but they can start to do some damage with the -1 AP they give themselves in Conquer. They also come with Scout 6 and sticky objectives, allowing them to reposition in the beginning of the game and hold objectives even if they're walking off. This is great as it forces your opponents to commit more than just trying to shoot your Rangers off points, and while holding home objectives also act as a screen to your opponents attempting to deep strike into your deployment zone. The Ranger's Galvanic Rifle is a decent enough gun, with a normal squad firing about 20 shots at strength 4 and 1 damage, again, able to push the AP to -1 more often than not, at a safe distance of 30. Skitarii blocks are able to take war gear options to elevate their firepower, to include the basic Plasma and Arc Rifle, just like the Guard can. Our beautiful unique gun, however, is the Transuranic Arquebus. Nothing says superior firepower like a sniper that uses an extended base and towers at nearly double the size of the Rangers holding it. While one shot makes it difficult to connect with, especially with the 4+ ballistic skill, and the strength 7 and the 2 AP profile can make it sting leaders who would have a low wound count. Just make sure to roll hot on that D3 damage. The counterpart to the Rangers are the Skitarii Vanguard, and these little metalheads outshine the Rangers from the front line objective play. Their base profile is largely the same, as well as their ability to carry the same war gear weaponry as the Rangers, but they vary on their radium carbines. This profile has a far shorter range of 18 inches, and a lower strength value too, but with 1 extra shot per block and anti-infantry 4, the Vanguard can trade into even the toughest of foot soldiers by sheer massive shots. Speaking of trading, the Vanguards exchange sticky objectives and scout for the ability Rad Saturation, an ability infamous to Admech tables where they can reduce the objective control of models within 3 inches of them. This is fundamental Admech strategy to steal control from enemies on objective, jamming your cheap infantry into theirs and forcing them to answer the radiated troops. A standard Marine squad of 5 will lose control to the objective by simply being within range, and then has to chew through the Skitarii 5+ vulnerable save, making them lose control of that objective for at least a turn, and then that is enough to pivot the game on your favor. Lastly, we will cover the Skitarii Marshal here as well, as he can only lead either the Rangers or the Vanguards. A relatively recent addition to our army, he mainly serves as a caddy for enhancements for Skitarii Battleline and a slight buff piece to our +4 ballistic skill by giving any squads led by him reroll to all hit rolls. Additionally, he can use the Serval Skull uplink once per game on any phase to remove battle shock within 6 inches of him. It's important to note that he can remove it from any friendly Skitarii unit, including his own. This hilariously includes Dune Riders, Iron Striders, Onagers, etc. that happen to be within range, which can also then allow your units to be targeted by stratagems in an otherwise impossible scenario. The Marshal has a decent fighting profile. The Mechanicus pistol with devastating wounds and a potential -2 AP can hurt decently well, and the control stave can put the hurt if you find yourself in a bad situation. The Marshal shines in particular in our infamous Skitarii Hunter cohort, while being able to carry Battlesphere uplink for 30 points to grant his unit a normal move of 6 inches after shooting. This is used to combo with the Scorpius Dune Rider, starting a unit of Vanguard and a Marshals inside. The unit can then disembark to receive the Dune Rider's ability to reroll wounds and shooting, as well as reroll hits from the Marshal's innate ability. A potential fusillade of 30 radium carbine shots, rerolling both hit and wound rolls, will delete lighter infantry and definitely put the hurt on some elites, after which the unit can make a normal move to re-embark into the transport and do it all over again, next shooting phase in relatively safety. Not to mention that the Dune Rider has a massive amount of shots itself. A handful of units in our army also benefit from being within range of a battle line, not only for the army rule, but for datasheet specific abilities. For example, Cataphoron Breachers can reroll all hits when within 6 inches of a Skitarii battle line, or Taraxi Skystalkers can move 12 inches provided they finish wholly within 6 inches of the Skitarii unit after shooting, rather than only being able to move the flat 6. Be sure to look over individual datasheets to see if you may need to have more battle line available to you for whatever playstyle you try to take to the table. This is also true for some stratagems in the army, specifically in the Rat Zone Core, where some of the stratagems are influenced based on how much battle line you have around you. Skitarii in and of themselves are decently good battle line, relatively squishy but mobile, and vital to provide our army rule. Rangers can hold the back line, while vanguards light up anything in the front line. Any list should consider taking minimum 2 to 3 units and tweaking their list as needed to ensure that plenty are available to provide buffs where they're needed. These little guys are very important, so make sure you take care of them and they'll take care of you. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please consider liking and subscribing. Also, thank you very much again to kitto.paint and Archotechna for providing the art and the music to this channel, respectively. Thank you very much. See you next time.